Hello, St. Petersburg, and everybody out there on YouTube. We are WordPress St. Petersburg, and you are here for our Ask Us Anything Crowdsourcing WordPress Support Workshop. Below me, you will see, well, I'm Jim True, the organizer for WordPress St. Petersburg, and my co-organizers are below, Jennifer Novak and Elaine Simmons. Say hi, ladies.
Hello.
I was expecting to say hi, ladies. Oh well. That would have been funny. Anyway, we're WordPress St. Petersburg. We meet monthly on the first Tuesday through. Oh, I didn't update this slide. Shame on me. We meet monthly on the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month. We're going back to our twice a month schedule. We're going to test it out for the first couple of months to see how bad we are with our fatigue, with our what you call it, lockdown fatigue and online fatigue. And if it gets too much, we'll just go back to the first Tuesday. But at least for now, for February, for this month and next month, we will be doing twice a month. You can check out our meetup on meetup.com at WordPress St. Petersburg. We definitely encourage you to join that because when you RSVP to the online events, we always have a question, and typically that question, we use that during our actual online event. Our website is wptampabay.org. On that website, we have a information all at the top front that basically talks about the all of our communication channels, our Slack chat, our Facebook group, our meetups, etc., and our YouTube channel. We are a member of the WordPress Tampa Bay Network, which means we are a loosely affiliated group of meetup groups across the Tampa Bay area. We have St. Petersburg, Tampa, Brandon, Valrico, and Newport Richey. The other groups are not meeting right now for some reason, but they'll work that out. Hopefully they'll get back in the swing of things. Okay, dial-in etiquette. We're going to talk about this tonight because we've been having some issues with it a couple times. If you dial into the call, we're using StreamYard, and the invite link is posted on both Facebook and our YouTube chat. It will always be posted the night of the event so that you guys can find it very easily. When you link into that, it will also give you a link for the guest instructions. I'm going to pop over in a minute and actually show you that stuff so that you guys can kind of see how these are configured. The guest instructions walk you through configuring your mic and your camera to allow your browser to use it. And what ends up happening is that when you come into the StreamYard, you're actually in a little green room, and we can see you down there, but you're not actually in the call until we bring you into the call. But you can hear everything we're saying, and you can, and we can hear you when we pull you into the call. So the most important thing is to making sure that your only audio coming out of your microphone is going into the StreamYard website tab, a browser tab that you have StreamYard on. If you're watching the broadcast on YouTube or Facebook, you absolutely have to mute those two tabs because we will get like a gigantic echo cancellation, coming through your mic, and we'll end up having to knock you off the call. Okay, I'll show you that in just a second. Actually, so let me stop sharing that screen, and I will share my browser window over here. Let's see, Chrome tab, application window. That one, I think. Yeah, share. Okay, so this is what the guest instructions look like. Let me zoom that in just a little bit. It basically walks you what to do before the broadcast. Make sure you're on a laptop or desktop with a webcam and a mic, strong internet connection, the whole bit. Shows you how to join the broadcast, shows you how to configure and set your mic and make sure it's tested and working, and put your name in and all that kind of good stuff. This is all just to enter StreamYard. And then what you want to make sure you're doing though is if you're inside this little video, let me see, like where is the link for Facebook? Like if I wanted to watch it on here, it's a good question. It says plans to go live. Let me see, refresh. Oh, there we go. This video is live now. So if I click this, it's going to put me into a talkie thing. And look, make sure that little button right there, mute, is muted. That's the most important thing you can possibly do. If you come into our call, you definitely have to make sure that if you're in Facebook, that your mute tab is muted. You can also, up here, if you're in Chrome, you can do mute site, and it will mute the entire. I can't see my pull down, unfortunately, from Chrome tab. I don't think you can. No, you can't for some reason. The overlays aren't showing. But in Chrome, there's an option to mute the site. So we're in like a horrible inception moment here, so I'm going to switch to another tab. So like if you're in YouTube and you're watching, same thing. Make sure that you're muting your microphone. Okay? That's all you got to do. Alrighty? Let me get out of this thing. Okay. Alright, and we will go back to my keynote. Alright, folks. Alright, so that's the dial-in etiquette if you're coming into our calls. Alright, so upcoming meetups and events. February 2nd, which is in 2 weeks, we will have another Ask Us Anything, just like this. And then on February 16th, we'll be doing a technology security panel. We'll talk about it on the next slide. And then March 2nd, we'll be back with our Ask Us Anything. And then on March 16th, we'll be doing another to be announced panel discussion. More than likely, it's going to be something to do with customers, clients, handling clients, or something of that nature. Next, the panel on February 16th. Sorry, I couldn't remember the date. The panel on February 16th is going to be a privacy and security panel. Is it safe? Technology panel on privacy, GDPR, security, VPNs, and being safe while working in a remote world. There's so many of us now that are actually having to switch our entire business model from working in an office or going to visit clients to working from home. And you're also going to be running into this a lot with your clients, where you're going to have to be talking to them about making sure that all of their connections are secure. You know, how do you protect yourself from hackers? How do you protect your passwords? How do you protect all that stuff? And how do you protect your website? The whole bit. We're going to have Chris Wegman as a guest for that night. He'll be on the panel. He's a security expert, and he will be bringing him in again. He's had several talks over the years with WordPress St Pete, so he'll be joining us for that night. So it should be a very informative talk. Please be ready with your questions. We'll be putting out, when the meetup goes out, and it should go out this week, when the meetup goes out, the RSVP will actually have some specific questions, asking for, what are some of the kind of questions you guys have about privacy, GDPR, and stuff like that. We'll probably also talk about the privacy policy and how to keep your clients' data safe. Like if your clients use your forms, that whole policy as well. Okay. All right. We are looking for speakers. If you know anything about WordPress, web design, front end or back end, plugin reviews, theme reviews, anything pertinent to web design, anything pertinent to entrepreneurship, anything pertinent to starting a small business and making one work in our currently technology dependent world, we'd love to hear you talk. If you've never spoken public before, no problem. Obviously, we have no issues with it because you can't see your audience. It's wonderful. They don't laugh at you or nothing. It's awesome. It's great for your resume, your LinkedIn, or your Twitter. Just go to our website at wptampabay.org, and there at the top of the menu bar, there'll be a speakers tab and a call for speakers link, and you can fill out the form, and that will let us know that you're interested. Code of conduct for tonight. There are no stupid questions except the one you didn't ask. We do these Ask Us Anythings to cover all range of knowledge. So if you're a beginner, if you're an expert, doesn't matter. We'll try to answer your question. We try to limit the question discussion to like 10 to 15 minutes so that we can handle everybody that does join the call. And also that keeps us from going over too much, because no one wants to sit on these streams for longer than an hour and a half or more. And everyone gets to talk, but no crosstalk, please. So if you're on the call and, it's kind of weird with online stuff that, they don't all automatically mute the other microphone and stuff. And if you end up too many people talking at once, it just gets to be a cluster mess, and we can't have that. Okay, so let's get started with our questions. I don't see any online yet inside our call, but I do see that we have 6 people watching us. One of those is probably me over here on this thing, but from our RSVPs, we do have a couple of questions. We have, We have a very general question that says looking for blog post and website help. Those questions are great, but please be more specific because we're trying to answer your question for you online, and if you're not specific, we have no idea what kind of website and blog post help do you need. Are you looking to find someone to work for you? Are you looking for help with that particular website or blog? So another question we've got is need to learn more information about WordPress. Another great question. We can't really train you on WordPress, but we do have several resources linked off our website. Let me share my website tab again, and I will show those. Hang on. Share screen. Chrome tab. Where's my WordPress Tampa Bay? I think that's it right there. Yep, that's it. Okay. So this is our website. WordPress Tampa Bay. Let me zoom in just a tad bit. There we go. All right. WordPress support. If you go there, we talk about our support channels here, but we also have a frequently asked questions on there as well. I don't know anything about WordPress. Do you offer beginner training? We've got links here out to lynda.com, which probably needs to be updated to be said. It's linkedin.com now, or LinkedIn Learning. But LinkedIn Learning has some excellent resources on learning WordPress. And we always recommend the ones by Morten Rand Hendrickson. You can also get access to LinkedIn Learning for free right now. Actually, most of the time through your local library. As long as you've got a library card and you link to it through their connection, you can get to LinkedIn Learning for free. And if you need a WordPress developer, designer, who do you know, reach out to our support channels. We've got jobs boards on all of those. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it on that question. So stop the sharing that screen. And let's go back to our Meetup questions. Alrighty. Next question we have is allowing people to not need to log in again once they have viewed a page. That's a very good question, Valerie Nunez Dunca. I'm going to copy your question and post it in the chat. That is an excellent question, and Google has become a wonderful thing and actually someone answered this for us. By default, WordPress will actually keep your login for 48 hours. So like if you log into your WordPress website, it will save your login for 48 hours unless your hosting company and unless you're on a managed WordPress hosting company and they have pushed some other sort of profiles down on their WordPress installations to change that. So let's see, the question was, here we go. Oops. Here we go. That's the question. So, allowing people to not need to log in again once they viewed a page. So what we're going to do is what I found was, here we go, share that screen. Jan, I can hear your little tapping fingers. Which is fine. You can keep typing if you want to. But basically, there's a plugin called WordPress Persistent Login. You can use, boy, my Zoom keeps changing on me. There we go. WordPress Persistent Login. Keep clicking on the wrong screen there. Is a simple plugin that keeps users logged into your website unless they explicitly choose to log out. Requires no setup, just install and save your users time by keeping them logged into your website securely. So if that's all you needed, that'll do it for you. Okay? And that's it on our questions, guys.
All right.
I guess we're done.
Good deal.
We have 8 people viewing. Anybody out there in the world currently in our chat, if you are out there in our chat and you have a question, please ask it, because otherwise we may be ending this call very soon. I'm actually looking forward to the security panel, though. I think it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about with that one.
Yeah, because I think with this pandemic, with all these mischievous ones with nothing to do, Big problems everywhere.
Well, and you've got customers, like if you're doing a website for a customer who's always had a brick and mortar store and is suddenly online and they're storing customer data or they're taking all the transactions online, they're going to be very concerned about, how secure is all that information and, what is the stuff they need to keep for their accountant? How much stuff do they need to retain for their customers? And with all of the GDPR stuff, which impacts all of us too in America, you've got a very specific limit to what you can store and what you can't store, and you have to specifically state what am I storing and where am I storing it and how am I storing it and what am I using it for, and giving them the ability to also remove that information. Gravity Forms does a really good job with. You can connect your forms to the privacy policy on your WordPress connection and determine all the information that's actually stored as part of that privacy, connection, or the user data connection. Personal data, that's the word I was looking for. You can define your personal data when you're filling out the form, and when you use once you start using that form process with that connected to the personal data settings, you can use WordPress's erase personal data and download personal data tools to actually do that, which is kind of cool. We're probably going to talk about this next week, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about because I don't know if a lot of people have actually checked that part of the websites out or not. Let's see. Where'd it go? There it is. Share. Okay, so like if I'm in our website here, go to the dashboard. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, do not look at the number of plugins that are out of date. We're going to go down to Tools. Let me zoom that up a little bit. There we go. If you go into Tools, you've got two items here: Export Personal Data and Erase Personal Data. Export, basically, if a client asks for that, you just put in their email address. It'll send them a request, ask for confirmation, and then they will get like if I do that now, I'll just do that real quick. Jim Matt, I think it's in here. I'm in here as Jim Trudit. Don't look at my email address. It's horrible. But yeah, it'll create it, and you'll see that it's waiting for confirmation. And if I go into my actual email and confirm that, let me see. Oh, got it. Okay. If I click the link for that, and we go back here now. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Where'd it go? Oh, wrong site. Here we go. Dang it, Jim. I can't find our website. That is hilarious. Okay, here, I found it. Good enough anyway. Wait, the wrong tab. Come on. Darn you. I'm sharing it, but I have no idea where that tab is. Oh man, that is, just laugh at me for a while, okay? While I try to find. Oh,
How many tabs do you have open?
Way too many.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, let me stop sharing. There we go. Let me stop sharing it, share it again, because for some reason when I did the confirmation, it stopped sharing that particular tab without asking for me. So here we go. Go back in there again. Okay, now we're in the right one. Okay, so if I refresh this now, Tools, Export Personal Data, it'll show that I've confirmed that I do want it, and you can send the export link. And, send a nice little email, and when you get that data, it's like this little file that you can open up, and it gives you kind of like a full detailing of everything that I've ever done on the website. It's kind of cool. And then if you want to erase personal data, you do the exact same thing. You can send a erase personal data request. I'm not going to do this, but it's pretty cool. You can fill out the email. It'll do the same thing. Send them an email to confirm it that they want to delete their data, and then you can go in here and just delete data, and it'll erase it all. It's pretty nifty. The request will stay until you delete it, so you at least know that their email address is listed once there, but it won't be anywhere else in the system. It'll delete their user, everything. So kind of nifty. So I know that was exciting. Wasn't that exciting? You
So
guys
exciting.
are so exciting.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, gosh, we're gonna end early.
Well, why don't we, Jim, pick your brain for a moment.
Okay.
Go over a couple customer service tips, since we're all doing so much customer service, since we're all working from home. Just some general. You could just give us some general tips.
Oh, what kind? Like, are you having like any specific pain points that are bothering you? Because you never ask those kind of questions unless you've actually got a pain point you want us to elaborate on. You don't have to throw any. You don't have to throw any client under the bus.
No, I mean, just in general, I find I'm getting better at all kinds of customer service, but how do you communicate boundaries? What's a nice way of doing that?
Set a timer. Make sure that you've always got a timer going because you're billing by the hour, or if you're doing a retainer, you're going to be keeping track of the time that you're working on communication with a client. So it's important to let them know that, hi, we're starting. You've called me out of the blue, and I'm going on the clock now for you. So I wanted to let you know that I'm doing that. And the minute you say that, you will find that most of them will throw the bull out the window, and they will focus on the conversation at hand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's critical. If you've got a scheduled meeting with them, let them know that I'm fine to discuss anything you want to discuss, but remember, I'm on the clock. So, this is your dime.
Yeah.
And as long as you do that, as long as you state that very clearly, it's polite. It's the polite thing to do. Like if I called a lawyer, that's one of the first things they'll do is that, they usually have about maybe 5 minutes that they will handle a standard question, to find out what you're looking for. Maybe not even that. And then they will immediately take you into billing mode. So, that's kind of how that works. That's my primary one for boundaries. Stick to your office hours. Make them clear. Do not reply to emails at 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever these weirdos email you. Make sure that you establish your business hours and do not work outside them with your customers. You can work all you want, but don't work outside your business hours with your customers. They will get into this mode of thinking that you are actually working on weekends, that you're working at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they will continuously send you stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning, or they'll cold call you at 2 o'clock in the morning for no reason whatsoever. And it's just, you have to maintain professional boundaries is what it comes down to. You're not their psychiatrist.
But I'm saying also all the intangibles that they don't understand that you must do to maintain their website or their membership site or their directory, and
well, I
you
mean,
don't
you've
want
got
to bore them because they don't get it.
Well, then kind of make that a statement and say that, maintaining your site requires this much extra work, and either you've got to train them to do it, or they've got to understand that you're being paid to do it. If they don't want to learn how to do it, then you're going to be doing it, and you just have to explain to them that this is why it costs this. Does that make sense?
That's how your bill got.
Yeah. As long as you log your time, and that's the critical part of it all, Elaine. Log your time and log what you're doing during that time. If you have to break it up into tasks, it doesn't matter. I give a detailed report I use EverHour and Harvest. They are, let me show you those real quick. I'll do another share screen. Harvest has a free plan, I think, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's go to here. All right, hang on. Let's see. Harvest.com. Oop, that's not it. Hang on. Harvest time tracking. Get harvest. Sorry. All right, let me zoom that in a little bit. A little too small for my screen. All right, you can try harvest for free, a fully functional 30-day trial, and that'll let you determine if you want to buy it. Pricing for it, that's kind of weird. They don't have pricing right on the top of the front of the page. I've always liked harvest. I found it very useful for estimating and pretty intense and in-depth time tracking. But I'm looking for your frickin'... I'm looking for... There it is, pricing. Okay. Free is 1 seat, 2 projects. So you can actually use it for free for 1 login and 2 projects. So if you put all of your projects inside... yeah, see, that's the thing. If you want to do the billing from it, it kind of runs into an issue there. I did billing from my Get Harvest when I had Harvest. I actually integrated it to my billing and sent all my bills and invoicing directly out of there. I also sent in retainer setup and everything, the whole bit through it. So to me, it was worth it. Oh, Nichelle. Hi there. Hang on a second. Let's bring that lady in. Hey, Nichelle. I see you snuck in there.
Hey!
Were you just listening to us, like, sitting here just going on and on and on and like, trying to maintain a call here? And
these people need something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Jim's going to sit here and bore us to death with time tracking conversations. So I personally, when it came down to it, if you're trying to work out invoicing with your client and tracking your time so that you can prove the work you're doing, Harvest is excellent at it. The other one is EverHour. And I love EverHour. I liked it because it integrates so seamlessly with just about everything, and I can get really detailed time reporting from it. It is also has a free client, but you can't do invoicing for free. I think that's the biggest stipulation, is you cannot do invoicing for free. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't have a free version anymore. You just try it out for free. I have a 1 account license that I keep, and I use it for all of my external time tracking. So it's worth it for me. Well, Miss Nichelle, you're not on mute anymore, or you're on mute. Did you have any questions you wanted to bring into the table?
No.
No. You just wanted to sit here and dial in and watch Jim slowly sink?
I saw you guys. I was like, oh. And then I was like, let me get off a call. So I said, let me go join.
Yeah. We have exhausted all the questions from our viewers this evening. So we're now handling Elaine's questions. But yeah, that's my suggestion, is basically, if you're going to maintain the best boundary professional relationship with your customers, do time tracking, do detailed time billing if you do charge by the hour, or at least some kind of a summary report so that they can see the work you are doing. If you're doing actual maintenance work on their website and you're getting like membership management and all that kind of stuff, you've got to track the time so that you can let them see the amount of time it's taking. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Nichelle, one of the big question that came up was, how do you maintain the boundaries with clients and customers when you're doing support? And the first one we talked about was maintaining your office hours and not answering calls in the middle of the night or emails in the middle of the night, and also letting them know that they're on the clock when they call you so that they immediately get to the point and stop trying to dawdle. So mine that I used to say was, I'm not your therapist, I'm not your accountant, I'm not your lawyer, I am your this. So, yep, you're on mute, Nichelle.
No, I was saying that is true.
Yeah.
I would imagine that Jen and Elaine have more, because I'm lucky. Well, I guess fortunate for me, I don't have to deal with that as much because, corporate world.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I do corporate support, but it's we still get people asking questions on the weekends and stuff. We get like ridiculous amount of support tickets coming over the weekend, even though our office hours are very specifically stated. But it's just surprising how many people will just they do it because they think about it and they just open it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
mine is
my thing is, unless you get the blue screen of death over the weekend, it's not that important.
nope. And if you get in blue screen of death, call your computer repairman, not me. So I look at it. If you got a white screen of death on your WordPress website, call your hosting company.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're called in WordPress. Or now,
WordPress.
basically, WordPress just tells you that, oh yeah, you uploaded a plugin and you're dead now. So, look, we changed our little tag, our name bubbles are bubbles now. They were.
Oh yeah,
red
they're rounded.
bars. Yeah. New stuff from
It
StreamYard.
was a little banner. Yeah, it was a little square banner.
Yeah.
Rectangular banner.
That's nice.
Yeah, StreamYard has done some brand changing stuff, which is kind of cool. They've also got the ability now to, like, if you do have a video you want to load up that's longer than a minute, you can actually load it from your desktop, which is kind of new. So I don't know if. Oh, yeah, it did change this too. It changed the bubble, the dial in bubble. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nifty.
That's basically look like they're in alignment with what Google did. Remember when Google went through and changed their the UI and started using the bubbles.
Well, we can do a lot. We can do blocks. We
Ah,
can do
With
bubbles.
options.
We can do minimal, or we can do the
Oh,
default.
that looks official.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Ooh.
I love StreamYard. I've just been more and more impressed with it each time I play with it. So, and they keep adding really good features for just about everything. So, it works. It works well.
Well, I have a I guess it's WordPress adjacent.
Okay.
And speaking of StreamYard, since you're using it, have any of you used it in relation to a podcast or anything outside of how we're currently using it?
You do not have to live stream with podcasts. I mean, with StreamYard, you do not have to connect to YouTube or otherwise. You can actually just record the session. So you can actually just set it up for creating a connection point where people can dial into a call that isn't strung out anywhere, and it will record it and save the file so you can actually look at it. Let me show you kind of what.
So you can extract the audio to make it.
Yeah, let me show you
podcast,
kind of how
or-
that. I'll show you how it looks. It's actually not that complicated. Stop sharing. What am I sharing? Oh, I'm sharing that over there. Good Lord, Jim. Let me open another tab. One more tab. Let's see. Here we go. StreamYard broadcast. There we go. All right. I'm going to show you guys the back end of StreamYard.
Yeah, one of my friends keep asking me about podcasting and things
okay.
like that. So
Yeah, this is out of all of the ones that people use. Oh, that's weird. It zoomed in the wrong.
Do they want
screen.
the video part of it though, or just the audio?
well,
You can do both.
they want the video essentially more so that people can, I guess, FaceTime with each other, or as you're doing your broadcast, to FaceTime with each other. Not so much that you're looking for outside callers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Per se. But because it does, I think, even though we're not physically in the same space, it does help you if you're in a podcast with somebody to be able to see them as you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these days, I mean, I've noticed that, like, if I was going to do a podcast, I think even NPR does that, where they basically, they actually have the people video chat because it lets them see if the person is talking, but they are having audio issues too, which is quite helpful. Yeah. This is what the back end of StreamYard looks like. So you've got upcoming broadcasts, which is this one we're in right now. And then you've got past broadcasts. Within this window, you can see where it went, how long it is, but you've also got the ability to download recording. So,
Oh.
and you can download the recording, which includes the audio and the video, or you
Mm-hmm.
can download the audio only. And with the professional plan, which I can't remember if that's the one we're on or not, they've actually added a feature where you can actually, it will export the audio into separate streams for each caller so that you can
Wow.
actually balance the audio across the whole board. So
Wow.
it's really nice. Like, I love the way it's so easy to just create a broadcast from here. You pick which connections you've got set up. So, like, I got Tampa Bay WordPress, Facebook, and YouTube. Or you can skip and record only. So you can actually just create an immediate broadcast right from there. So that's kind of how that works.
Question for you then: if we went back to, if we ever get a chance to go back to where we're in person to
Uh huh.
do our, and we do presentations, not the group panel so much, but more so the presentation style that we
Mm-hmm.
normally do. Would this be something you would use instead of trying to mess, how you would have to
Yeah.
click between the two?
Yeah. I would basically configure a computer to be handling the whole broadcast.
Okay.
We would probably just sign in the computer that the person is presenting from. There's ways to work it out. It would just be some
Okay.
work. Yeah, I would either have to. I might have to go to Ecamm Live to do it though, because it's designed more for in-person streaming. So where you've got to have multiple computers and stuff all going to the same system. So
Okay.
yeah. Ecamm Live is a Mac only software though, so that is a limitation there. StreamYard works on anything because it's browser based. That's one of the main reasons I like it. So yeah, I would have to play it by ear, Michelle, on that one. I like the idea personally of continuing it this way because it's pretty straightforward and clean. It's
Yeah.
got some of the best overlay animations and stuff, like as far as like multiple colors and stuff. I think we're going to be in this mode for a while, though. We're going to be this way
Oh,
for
yeah.
several years, unfortunately, until the vaccinations are widespread. And I mean,
Yeah.
I noticed Razer, the video game company, the ones that makes the gaming mice and the gaming keyboards and the gaming computers and the gaming stuff, the really pretty looking black and green, gorgeous stuff. They
Nice chairs.
mobilized their factory into making N95 masks and PPE for the first responders and stuff. Like the minute all this was announced, they flipped their factory into doing plastic, basically plastic assembly line masks and stuff like that. And they've designed a new mask for the future, which is basically silicone seals. It's N95, so it's silicone seals at the top and the bottom. It has the filters push hot air out and cool air in. They have a clear face mask. You can see the face. They have
Okay.
ambient lighting inside
Oh,
the
wow.
rim of the mask so that it will actually automatically adjust to the lighting and keep the person's face illuminated. It has embedded speaker amplification. So
What?
that,
Wow.
yeah, it's really well done. Yeah.
Wow. What's
It looks,
Razor stop icon? I might have to go buy some.
I think
Stop
it's RAZR, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Razor. Let me see.
before they
Shit.
become popular. Uh, um,
Let me
before
see if I
people
can.
start hearing what they're
Oh, here it
doing.
is. It's called Project Hazel. Here, I'll share this. It's just too fascinating because it's, here we go. Chrome tab. There you go. Look at that newfangled mask.
Oh,
Isn't
wow.
that crazy? Isn't that just crazy? Oh, sorry, let me move this all over the screen. All of these little privacy policies. But yeah, it's like, dang. So active ventilation, auto sterilization function. Oh, that's scary. Oh, it's got a special charging case lined with a UV light interior which kills bacteria and viruses as the mask charges. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's just awesome. Oh, and you can personalize the lighting on the filter. So you can make the colors on the filter be the LED colors, the colors you want them to be. Is that
Yeah,
just crazy or what? Sustainable.
that is
It's
crazy.
just, I love it.
Yeah.
Though. I think it's like, I knew this is where we were going. I knew this is like, yeah, these little outfits with the hoods and the masks. And yeah, This is where we're going to be when the climate change occurs and we can't go out anymore because it's acid rain and heat and all this kind of stuff. We're all going to be wearing like scarves are going to be built into our hoods and, yeah. It's fashion time, people.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to find another stock icon. Hang on. Razor stock icon. Well, that's a pretty sound. Stock. What's it called? A stock symbol. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is RAZFF. Okay. Fascinating. Now, as far as like alternates on streaming, there's some really expensive software out there. And Ecamm Live and a lot of those softwares are really pushing towards like the church markets because they had to mobilize to going online really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm not looking for anything expensive. This is an experiment.
Yeah, and StreamYard's not that expensive at all. And if you ever want to test it out, just let me know, and I can give you access to mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So we are at 7-Eleven, and not a single person has asked a single question.
I did ask a question. It wasn't a WordPress
It was
question.
no. That was a very, very much a WordPress question. I think, as far as like technology and stuff, very important question to ask. Yeah, we have exhausted the small amount of time we had allotted for this call, so I guess we will give it to you 5 viewers out there that are watching us. We will give it to you. Let me actually kill my connections to make sure I'm not one of those 5. Let's see.
Everybody's coming off a short week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's January, and it's cold.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if February 2nd doesn't get more activity than this. We may go back to once a month. And just do the focus panel
once a month is
stuff.
good.
I know. You're just saying that, Jen, because you want to get there now. You don't want me to try this twice a month thing. You don't want to see my smiling face more than twice a month.
I'd love to see a smiling face twice a month. However,
I was glad Jen can join.
Me too. I was worried. We missed her last week. We were happy that Nichelle came in late. Even though she was late, it was wonderful to have her drop in.
You can always guarantee I will always be late.
Yeah. No big deal tonight.
It's just my margin.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're going to be doing another panel again soon, and you're going to be the guest host for that one, I think. So.
Oh, no.
Well, because it'll be a panel that we want your feedback in, so it's one of those kind of things. We're going to be doing more focused. Instead of doing Ask Us Anything, there'll be more focused questions and discussion topics so that we can actually have some pre-aligned stuff to talk about, which is what the next one coming up in February is. February 16th.
Okay.
So that should be a fun one. I like talking privacy and all that kind of stuff because I actually find it fascinating. And I'm curious about it myself because, we've got, now that you're at home all the time and you start really thinking about it, it's like, well, God, I'm going to enter my password in everything. And it's like, Google's got access to everything I own. And Apple has access to everything I own. And now suddenly this person's asking for my Google access, authentication rights. And then this one's asking for it and that one's asking for it. What the hell am I doing to myself? What have I done? How do I possibly extricate myself?
Yep.
And I'm at that
why
point where
I always say no.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm not accepting cookies anymore. No, you can't have my cookies. They're my cookies.
Yeah, everybody's saying, please allow us to get your location. Block.
I never allow notifications or location. No notifications. Do not even try to broadcast to me. And I'm blocking you for any kind of location access unless I do it when I want to do it. But the weird one is like I have a Simple checking account, which is an online company. It's simple.com. And they had been bought out by BBVA, which is a Venezuelan bank, sometime last year, I guess. And BBVA got bought out by PNC, I think. And they went through their offerings and said, well, we're not going to fund Simple anymore. And so Simple's going away. And so now I have to suddenly find a new checking account. And I'm suddenly in that mode of looking at where all my connections are and trying to streamline. Because I don't ever want to have a real physical, I don't want to go to a physical bank ever again.
Ally
I've
Bank?
loved, I have not looked at Ally yet. I'm actually looking at Capital One 360 checking.
I used to work at Ally,
Okay. Yeah. Hey, puppy.
but
There's a
they've been
tail.
in.
Look, it's a tail. It's a dog tail. Can you see the dog
It's
tail?
Uno.
Yes, it's a little dog tail. There we go. Here, we'll make it curl.
Oh goodness.
So Ally as an Ally or ALLI?
That's it. ALLY. But they've been online only for. I worked with them back in 2009.
Okay. I will check them out. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll check them
Sure.
out. Yeah, because I had looked at one based on someone's recommendations, and honestly, the minute I connected, I said nope. So I've got to flip my money back
Yeah.
out of them.
So the thing about Ally, just in general, are you still recording this session?
Yes, these are actually good questions. These are things
Oh.
to talk about. It's not bad.
Well,
You know.
Ally has been in the digital space, online only, like I said, since actually before 2009, probably about 2008. But they shot out of GMAC Financial. GMAC
Okay.
Financial, when they evolved, they rebranded. And so that's when Ally Bank came around at the same time. And they actually have pretty good interest rates because they've always been digital. And of course, you can use the debit card. They was one of the first ones to say, use your debit card at any location. You know, you could get cash at any location. They were one of the first to do it. And actually, they're finally getting recognized by the stock market traders and stuff as having a good, solid financial services company.
How is their because the one thing I loved about Simple was they kind of combined a lot of the features of you need a budget, the YNAB, with and Mint.com with their primary interface, which meant that you did envelope budgeting. You basically could look at your checking account and you'd say, well, I need to save $800 for rent and I need it to come out of my 2 paychecks. And it would automatically create that in a bucket and it would take it out of your main safe to spend bucket. So you could always look and see what your balance is, but typically when you looked at Simple, it was your safe to spend budget is this, which meant that was the amount you could go play with if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Everything else went to your envelopes. And since I started using it, I mean, I paid off credit cards. I was able to, when I didn't have that really good of a job, I was able to like budget out full vacation trips and the whole thing just by working it that way. And it was one of the things I liked about it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know about current feature sets because I really haven't looked at them in a long time. But I was on the UX team and did a lot of their initial app development. And so if I remember correctly now, talking 10 years, that was one of those things we were like future state because technology hadn't quite gotten there yet. Yeah. But now that technology is there, I wouldn't be surprised because they were they were one of the few companies that for the financial services side that I worked at that actually took direct customer feedback and iterated very quickly on what needed to be done.
Nice.
They have the full product suite offering. Just like any financial services company, it's only they don't have any physical locations.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the one thing I've always loved about Simple, but they didn't ever have, like, savings was kind of weird with them, but I do like the way they work. They actually put it into its own little locked account, and it, they had the roundup savings. So, like, every time you made a purchase, it automatically round up into a certain amount into savings, which I loved because it just, you save without thinking about it. And I know most companies are doing that now. I know the Capital One 360 does that as well. I use Capital One because I have a Visa card with them, which I use to rebuild my credit rating with initially, and then I got a Capital One financing Visa, which was pay one thing and then you pay it off within a year. There's no interest, that kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are really useful when you need to make large purchases like
Yeah. What
You know.
what I found interesting about Ally as part of their product set was the way they have their savings account structure. It
Hmm.
wasn't just your typical base savings account. There was always a little bit more. So their savings account would be like money market accounts or
Oh,
those type
okay.
of things. So it was just one step, where everybody else was just put your money in and you may
Hmm.
earn 1%.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
just,
honey, I had over. Let me see. I had over 100,000 in my savings at Bank of America for over 2 years and got no interest.
interest. Yeah.
And they asked me why I was canceling my account, and I said that's why. Yeah. So
Yeah.
kind of evil. Like I've made more in interest on just my small amount of money I've had in the savings account at Simple than I had the entire time I was at Bank of America. So go figure. But I haven't gone. I haven't started looking at stocks or investments or anything like that because I'm not there yet. But yeah, it's nice to. But it is nice to. Thank you. I appreciate that as
Sure.
feedback. So we're not getting any other questions. So I think we're gonna wrap. So folks, anyone who has managed to stay through all of this discussion and found us fascinating, we will be back again on February 2nd for another Ask Us Anything, and then we'll be back again on February 16th for our first technology panel for security. Is it safe? Talking about privacy and all that kind of good stuff. As always, please make sure that you visit our website at wptampabay.org and make sure that you like and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's those little things down at the bottom. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Click the little bell icon to be notified when we drop new videos and invites to chats and stuff like that. Thank you for joining our call. Thank you, Jennifer, Nichelle, and Elaine, for being here this evening. Appreciate you, as always, joining the calls. And let me find our little video, the etiquette video. There it is. Okay. And we'll be back in a bit. Everybody, mute your stuff. We'll be back after the end of the call, okay? Thank you for watching our recorded session from WordPress St. Pete Meetup. We meet twice a month on the first and third Tuesdays in downtown St. Pete at the Suncoast Developers Guild. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up in YouTube and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new videos are added. Find out more about WordPress St. Petersburg at our website at wptampabay.org.